This simple morning habit slashes Alzheimer's risk by 40%. Scientists studying blue zone communities were stunned when they discovered why some brains stay sharp past 100 while others fade decades earlier. Today I'm revealing 7 daily habits that build an invisible shield around your brain. Here's what nobody tells you about Alzheimer's disease. It doesn't start when you forget where you left your keys. The changes in your brain begin 20 to 30 years before any symptoms appear. That means what you do today in your 50s and 60s directly shapes your brain health in your 80s and 90s. But here's the hopeful part. Researchers at Harvard discovered that up to 40% of Alzheimer's cases could potentially be prevented or delayed through lifestyle changes alone. 40%. That's millions of people who could maintain their independence, their memories, their connection to loved ones. And the 7 habits I'm about to share with you aren't complicated medical protocols. They're simple daily choices that compound over time to create remarkable protection. But what shocked scientists most was which habit ranked number 1. Stay with me because it's probably not what you're expecting. Let's start with habit number 7 and work our way up to the most powerful. Habit 7 is stress management. Now I know what you're thinking. Everyone talks about stress. But here's what makes this different. Chronic stress literally shrinks a part of your brain called the hippocampus. This is your memory center. Your brain's hard drive. When cortisol floods your system day after day, it's like pouring acid on this delicate structure. A study from the University of Wisconsin followed over 2,000 adults for nearly 20 years. Those who practiced daily stress reduction like deep breathing, meditation, or even just sitting quietly in nature had significantly better memory scores decades later. The good news is that the hippocampus can actually regrow. If you found that surprising, you'll definitely want to hear what's coming because habit number 3 completely changed how I think about brain health. Habit number 6 might surprise you. It's sleep quality, but not just any sleep. Your brain has its own cleaning system called the glymphatic system. It only activates during deep sleep. Think of it like a dishwasher for your brain, washing away the toxic proteins that cause Alzheimer's. Here's the fascinating part. Researchers at Stony Brook University discovered that sleeping on your side, particularly your right side, helps this cleaning process work more efficiently than sleeping on your back or stomach. But there's more. You need 7 to 8 hours of quality sleep. Not just time in bed. Actual deep restorative sleep. Blue light from screens before bed, alcohol, and irregular sleep schedules all sabotage this critical brain cleaning time. And if you think sleep is important, wait until you hear about habit number 4. It involves something you probably do every single day without realizing its power. Habit number 5 is learning new skills. And I don't mean just doing crossword puzzles. Your brain builds something called cognitive reserve. Think of it like a savings account for your brain. The more you deposit through learning complex new skills, the more you have to draw from later. A groundbreaking study followed nuns for decades. Those who earned advanced degrees and continued learning throughout their lives showed Alzheimer's pathology in their brains at autopsy, but never showed symptoms during their lives. Their cognitive reserve was so robust that their brains worked around the damage. The key is novelty. Learning Italian at 62. Taking up piano at 58. Starting photography at 70. Your brain craves the challenge of new neural pathways. Each new skill is like building an alternate highway system in your brain. If the main road gets blocked, traffic can reroute. But here's where things get really interesting. But here's what most people get completely wrong. They think brain health is all about what happens inside your head. Habit number 4 is social connection, and the research here is absolutely stunning. Scientists at Rush University followed over 800 older adults for 12 years. Those with the strongest social connections had a 60% lower rate of cognitive decline. 60%. Let me explain why this works. When you have a meaningful conversation, your brain lights up like a Christmas tree. You're processing facial expressions, tone of voice, memories, emotions, and language simultaneously. It's a full brain workout that no puzzle or app can replicate. Loneliness, on the other hand, triggers the same inflammatory responses as physical injury. Your brain literally perceives social isolation as a threat. This is where I need you to really pay attention, because habit number 3 changed everything I thought I knew about preventing Alzheimer's. Habit number 3 is what you eat, but forget everything you've heard about brain foods. The Mediterranean diet isn't just good for your heart. A landmark study called MIND, which stands for Mediterranean-Intervention for Neurodegenerative Delay, found that people who followed this eating pattern had brains that functioned 7.5 years younger. 7.5 years. The magic isn't in any single food. It's in the combination. Leafy greens at least 6 times per week. Berries at least twice per week. Fish at least once per week. Olive oil as your primary fat. Nuts as your daily snack. These foods work together to reduce inflammation and oxidative stress, the 2 main drivers of brain aging. But here's the critical part. It's not about perfection. Even people who followed the diet moderately showed significant benefits. Your brain rewards consistency over intensity. And now we're getting to the 2 habits that outrank everything else I've shared. Habit number 2 is purpose. Having a reason to get out of bed in the morning. A study published in JAMA Psychiatry followed over 2,000 adults for up to 7 years. Those with a strong sense of purpose had an 89% reduced risk of cognitive impairment. 89%. Purpose activates your prefrontal cortex constantly. It gives your brain a reason to maintain connections, to stay alert, to keep problem solving. Volunteering, mentoring younger people, pursuing a passion project, caring for grandchildren, these aren't just nice activities. They're medicine for your brain. And this brings us to habit number 1. The one that shocked researchers more than any other. The habit that can increase blood flow to your brain by up to 15% almost immediately. And it's probably not what you're expecting, because it's so incredibly simple. Habit number 1 is walking. Simple, accessible, free walking. But not just any walking. Researchers at the University of British Columbia found that brisk walking for just 30 minutes a day, 3 to 4 times per week, increased the size of the hippocampus by 2% in just 6 months. Remember, that's the memory center that shrinks with Alzheimer's. Walking reverses that shrinkage. When you walk briskly, your heart rate increases, pumping more oxygen-rich blood to your brain. Your body releases BDNF, brain-derived neurotrophic factor, which is like fertilizer for brain cells. You're growing new neurons and strengthening existing connections. The beauty is in its simplicity. You don't need a gym membership. You don't need special equipment. You just need to move. And when you combine walking with nature, the benefits multiply. Forest walking reduces cortisol while boosting creativity and memory consolidation. So let me bring this all together for you. 7 habits that build an invisible shield around your brain. Walking briskly several times per week. Finding purpose in your daily life. Eating a Mediterranean-style diet. Nurturing your social connections. Learning new complex skills. Protecting your sleep quality. And managing your stress. None of these require a prescription. None of them cost much money. All of them are within your control starting today. What amazed me most researching this was how these habits connect. Walking with friends covers 3 habits at once. Cooking a new Mediterranean recipe while listening to Italian lessons covers 3 more. Your brain isn't asking for complicated interventions. It's asking for consistent, loving attention. The changes start now, even though you won't see results for years. Every walk, every conversation, every new skill is a deposit in your cognitive reserve account. Now you know the 7 daily habits that scientists say create the strongest protection against Alzheimer's. Your brain is more resilient than you've been told. Subscribe for more science-backed longevity tips designed specifically for thriving after 50, because your best years are truly ahead. Tell me in the comments which habit you're going to start with this week. I read every single response and I'm cheering for you.